Hey, Pastor, have you watched someone you love go through burnout? Well, I have. My wife, 30 years ago, went through a significant burnout that just really halted her in her steps, and she had to kind of re engineer her life and her pace of life and also her focal points. And I've seen a number of my friends, not too many, but a number of them go through burnout that has really had a detrimental effect upon them and upon their ministry and their effectiveness. And they've had to resolve how to work through it. And today I want to give you three clear signs of pastoral burnout, but also I'm going to give you a few solutions on how to move out of pastoral burnout. I think the first clear sign is that I call it the empty well sign. You're going through the motions, you're preaching, you're talking to people, you're doing some discipling, mentoring, leading the staff meeting here and there. You're doing it all, but there's really no sense of alignment with purpose. You know, you're just ticking the boxes. You're just doing what you're meant to be doing, but there's no joy. There's no sense of wow. There's no sense of, oh my goodness, look at how the Lord's working here. You feel like an empty well, dry, barren. And we go through all dry seasons and wilderness journeys. That's part of following Jesus. But this is different. You know that there's no living water in the well, and you feel like I'm just doing this just on automatic and I'm doing it from memory only. I don't feel aligned with my purpose. I think the second clear sign of pastor burnout, and the picture I have here is of an overloaded Sherpa. You know, Sherpas are those amazing people that take people up on Everest, carry their burden and their load. And I see pastors and church leaders who become overloaded Sherpas. They're carrying too much. This problem has come upon them. There's the finances of the church. That person is left badly. That leader is just blowing up their marriage and their family. That situation of that series I've got coming up to preach, it's quite a challenging series. I need to address some key issues. And you feel like, I just keep putting things on my back, and now it feels like it's too much to carry. And I recognize this in my own life when I have a short fuse. When something happens and I just go, oh, what is going on? And I kind of lose it, and I catch myself losing it and going, oh, okay, John, let's have a look in the backpack. Get the backpack out because you're carrying stuff. And now a little thing has tipped you over the edge. It's not a big thing that's tipped you over. It's a little thing that's upset you and annoyed you. All right, get the backpack out. Let's have a look because I think I'm an overloaded Sherpa. And I watch for that signal and recognize it and take notice of it. The third clear sign of pastoral burnout, before I give you a few solutions on how to move through burnout or how to avoid it, how to get away from it, or how to bounce back from it, is the blown light bulb. Something that's used to shine bright and give a lot of light, now it gives you nothing. And you know, you can tell you're a blown light bulb when things that are good still draw from you a cynical response. You know, if you're really inspired by anything, Jesus does some things that are powerful and wonderful in your church and in your family, your own life, and you still got a bit of a sneer on your face. You're still a bit cynical, like, yeah, right, whatever. So you find phrases like, yeah, right, whatever, coming out way too regularly, and you're like a blown light bulb. You're something that used to shine, used to bring light, but now it doesn't seem to be connected anymore. I think I've got a resource that can really help you. Check it out in the description below. A book I've written some years ago, 27 Ways to Avoid Burnout. It's a great book with practical, simple, short chapters, very short chapters, short book, but it'll give you practical ways to avoid burnout. Check it out. I think you'll find it really useful. Well, let's move on from those clear signs of burnout to John, give us some solutions here. What should you do if you recognize, you know what, I can see some of that cynicism. Yeah, John, my fuse is a little bit short. Yeah, I'm certainly feeling a little bit overloaded and I feel like it's just dry. It's just kind of like not aligned with purpose. What should I do? Okay, let me give you a few solutions here. Firstly, I think the solution of talk, of language, of words, of getting stuff out. And I think have a talk to Jesus. Best person to go to, first person to go to is Jesus. Talk to Jesus about that cynicism, about that overburden, about the dryness. Talk to him about that. And I think also talk to yourself. I mean, I do the walk and talk. You know what it's like. I go for a walk and just talk to myself. Sometimes I'll be talking to Jesus. Other times I'm just having a chat to John and talking through scenarios. And I find that really helpful. But there are situations where, you know what I'm talking about. You need to talk to a friend, maybe your spouse. And I think you need to think about talking professionally to a therapist, to a counselor, to a coach. You need to get this stuff out. Face the brutal reality of it. Have the courage to decide, I'm not going to carry this weight alone. I'm going to talk to someone about it. That'd be a great decision for you today. Secondly, I think you do have to answer the question as a pastor. Is it time for me to finish in this church? Is it time for me to move on? Is it time for me to resign? Now, you don't want to jump to the answer of that, but the question is a good question for you to face and to ask. I asked it many times during my 30 years of pastoring. Am I done? Am I finished? And I think it's interesting that the most asked question I ever get through my my consulting, I'm not a counselor, or my coaching is, am I the right person to take our church into its next phase, its next season, its next era? I get that question more than any other question from pastors. And you know what my answer always is? Yes, you are, unless Jesus has told you, no, you're not. So I think to ask the question, is it time for me to resign? Is it time to move on? It's actually a good question because you can discern your season. And in talking with your spouse, you can figure out, and Diane used to help me figure out, no, it's not time to move on. Come on, persevere. Move through this thing. We'll get the other side of that challenge, that burden, that empty well thing that you're feeling. We'll get through the other side of it. And I think sometimes the answer will be, yes, it is time to move on, but you need to do that in the context of the wisdom of many friends and counselors and help through that time. The third solution, nothing changes if nothing changes. What needs to change in your world to cause you to avoid burnout or to move out of burnout? Ask the Lord for insight. Ask Jesus, Lord, what needs to change? And then here's the secret to change. Pursue change with soft accountability. Don't just decide, yeah, I'm going to do better about unloading things. I'm not going to take on so much. Yep, I can do that. Great. No, you're kidding yourself. You got into the situation. Don't think you're going to get out of it by yourself. You need some soft accountability. Who's the friend? Who's the coach that you're going to work with who will say to you, is that changing yet? Because nothing changes if nothing changes.